Tonight's broadcast is made possible by Strack & Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Corral Insurance Company, the insurance superheroes. Ironworkers Local 395, proud to be union. Four Seasons Mechanical, quality and comfort is our guarantee. Boilermakers Local 374, earn while you learn. Pulse Technology, leading the way in technological innovation for over 70 years. Visit Michigan City LaPorte, closer than you think, better than you imagine. IBEW Local 697, proud to support high school sports. Bricklayers Local 4, the best hands in the business. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. Blythe's Team Sports, where the athlete shops. And Hampton Inn, downtown Indianapolis. This is the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network. We come to you tonight from Crown Point High School as the Region Sports Network presents live coverage of Indiana high school baseball as the visiting Portage Indians take on the host Crown Point Bulldogs. I'm Leo Stauderher, and I'll have the play-by-play for tonight's action as we have a Duneland Athletic Conference matchup, second of two between Portage and Crown Point. It was the Bulldogs who would pull out the win in yesterday's matchup, winning 3-2 at Portage, led by a game-tying triple and a pinch hit roll from Nomikos Zeronius, and then he would eventually score on a wild pitch to earn the go-ahead run in the top of the sixth inning. And Logan Johnston would be solid for the Bulldogs. 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, 2 runs, and 13 strikeouts for Johnston to help get the win for Crown Point. That was last night's game. Today we'll see if it's a different story, if Portage can bounce back or if Crown Point could keep things rolling. We will start by taking a look at the starting lineups. Tonight's batting orders are powered by Great Lakes Sports Hub, where athletes train harder, recover smarter, and compete at their best. Elevate your game at the Hub. First, for the visiting Portage Indians, entering with a record of 11-4 on the year, 4-3 in Duneland play. They are 3-2 in road games. They have scored 132 runs while allowing 56. Here is the lineup from head coach Shane Prance. Brody Braden leads off, plays shortstop. Isaiah Ruiz will be behind the plate. He bats second. Hunter Cole will be on the mound. He bats third. Caleb Hacker's in the cleanup spot. He will be playing first base. Cody Young patrols center field and bats fifth. Ryan Bogue bats sixth and plays third. Tyler Pirowski bats seventh, plays second. Hunter Petrie will be in right field. He bats eighth. And Bryce Hodges rounds out the 1 through 9, playing in left field. So on the other dugout, here's the lineup for the Crown Point Bulldogs, entering with a record of 14-1, 7-0 in Duneland play. They are 4-0 at home, having won their last 4. They have scored 159 runs while allowing just 35. Their lineup will be as follows from their head coach, Steve Strayer. Nathan Sheets leads off, plays second. Caden Matusek bats second and plays short. Sean Dunlap will be in right field. He bats third. Connor Gaines will be behind the plate, bats in the cleanup spot. Andrew Long handles duties at third base. He bats fifth. Brody Langens will be in center field while batting sixth. Logan Johnston, last night's winning pitcher, will be playing first base and batting seventh today. Carson Payne will be in left field, batting in the eighth spot. And Nomikos Zeronius will be the designated hitter. He bats ninth to round out the 1 through 9. So the starting lineups are... That's how they will be deployed in the field. And now it's time to introduce the starting pitchers for today's game. That means we turn to the Enigenberg Exteriors Home Improvement Hurlers for today, presented by Enigenberg Exteriors. So for the Bulldogs, they will send Riley Ackerman to the mound. He has a record of 4-0 on the year, a 1.84 ERA over 5 appearances. Going 19 innings on the mound with 11 hits against, 7 runs, and 5 earned runs scattered throughout those 19 innings. He's walked just 12 batters while striking out 23. Now, the Portage Indians, they will counter with Hunter Cole, who approaches this game with a 2-1 record over 5 appearances. He has a 3.77 ERA. He has thrown 13 innings with 13 hits against. with 12 runs, 7 of which have been earned, walking 9 batters while striking out 20. So it's Ackerman against Cole on the mound. Those are your Enigenberg Exteriors home improvement hurlers for today's game. Enigenberg Exteriors, experienced roofing and siding contractors serving Indiana, Illinois, and Tennessee. Visit them on the web at ebergexteriors.com. As you can see, if you're watching, that it's a cloudy day in Crown Point. We will take a look at the game night forecast brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight's forecast, it is currently 49 degrees, feeling like 37 outside on a cloudy late afternoon, early evening. The sun will set around 7:45, in which the temperatures will drop into the lower 40s to high 30s. And there was a chance of rain throughout the day, but that looks to be out of our way right now. The wind is blowing in towards home plate, so that will affect things for both sides' batting orders and potentially help the pitchers on the mound, as these are two high-powered offenses, but a weather day that could favor the pitchers. That's the game night forecast brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. Well, the pregame show rolls along here at Crown Point. We will step aside. When we come back, we will continue to get you ready for first pitch between Portage and Crown Point. So stick around. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Get Pulse technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Have you heard? Strachan Van Til was voted Best of the Region 2025 in several categories, including Best Caterer, Deli, Flower Shop, Food and Grocery Delivery, Fried Chicken, Place to Buy Produce, Place to Buy Seafood, Loyalty Program, and Grocery Store. We're proud to be recognized by our community, and we're committed to continuing to deliver the variety, value, and convenience you deserve. See for yourself what it means to be the best when you shop at Strachan Van Til.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crown Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crown Company's Insurance Professionals, Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it. The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship, the best hands in the business.
As we get ready for first pitch between Crown Point and Portage, we are continuing to set the stage. After last night, these two teams played a very close game with the Indians falling to the Bulldogs on their home field. So they will look to try to bounce back and try to get some multiple runners on base that first trip through the lineup against a tough pitcher in Ackerman. As we talked about his record, just 11 hits against, so they will look to try to string some good at-bats together after another. And for the Bulldogs, they'll look to try to keep things rolling. This is a balanced lineup as they have allowed just 35 runs against while scoring 159, so they will look to try to continue picking up after each other as they have a lot of players throughout this lineup that can produce with runners on base, so they will look to try to continually stack quality at-bats throughout that lineup against Hunter Cole, a tough pitcher from Portage, and that can be, well, we'll see the second of these Duneland series after you play a close one that first day. How do you bounce back in the second for Portage when you feel like you had Crown Point close with a lead in the sixth inning, but then they were able to rally, take the lead, and wouldn't look back? Can you try to have a better effort today after a very good game yesterday, but just try to close things out? We'll see. That starts with Cole. If he can keep these Crown Point bats in check, that could favor his team. And a good pitching matchup on paper, it seems, between Cole and Ackerman. Cole, the senior, Ackerman, a junior. And we'll see just how those two can really establish their rhythm and try to get things going here as we see the coaches discussing the ground rules pregame. We are getting closer to first pitch between Crown Point and Portage and a Wednesday evening game. So they handshake, and we should be just about ready to go. We'll take one more step aside, and we return. First pitch between the Indians and the Bulldogs. That's next, so stick around. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship, the best hands in the business.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
And now the starting lineups for your Crown Point Bulldogs. Leading off, playing second base, number 2, Nathan Sheets. Batting second, the shortstop, number 7, Caden Matusek. Batting third, the right fielder, number 23, Sean Dunlap. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 9, Connor Gaines. Batting fifth, the third baseman, 13, Andrew Long. Batting sixth, the center fielder, number 3, Brody Lingens. Batting seventh, the first baseman, 22, Logan Johnston. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 1, Carson Payne. And batting ninth, the designated hitter, 18, Nomikas Zeronius. He's hitting for the pitcher, number 8, Riley Ackerman. Ladies and gentlemen, I I ask you now to please rise and kindly remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
And with the starting lineups and national anthem underway, we are ready for first pitch between Crown Point and Portage. It'll be Ackerman going against Braden to start things off just before, well, just right after 5 o'clock, actually, at Crown Point. It's a good day for baseball as we get two Duneland rivals, two teams with strong records on the year entering this conference game. Portage 11-4, Crown Point 14-1. Portage with a very strong start to the season. A lot of those losses on the record have come within the last week or so, dropping 2 versus Valparaiso last week, a non-con game against a tough Hanover Central team as well, and then falling to Crown Point yesterday. So all of those losses within the last 7 days as, well, for Portage playing a very challenging non-conference schedule as well with Andrean and Couts up next. Those are two tough teams that were playing at Victory Field last June, and so that's where if you want to be able to compete in the Duneland, you have to face some of the top teams from other conferences, and we've seen that with Crown Point too. Their non-conference schedule is certainly very tough as well, but for a Portage team that last year was 13-2, they've almost matched that win total, and that's really before we even get rolling into the month of May, and with the state tournament looming, that's a way to put yourself in a good spot is by facing a lot of strong teams before the postseason, so you're ready to face that tougher competition in elimination games. So Riley Ackerman, the left-hander, goes through his final warm-up tosses. He'll be looking to try to work efficiently through this Portage lineup with Braden, Ruiz, and Cole, the 1-2-3, due up to start things. See Connor Gaines behind the plate. Gaines will be trying to work with Ackerman as Sean Dunlap in right field, but Gaines takes the reps behind the plates today. And Brody Braden steps in to face Ackerman. Braden, the junior, is playing shortstop today with an average of .271. Ackerman kicks and goes towards the plate. His first pitch was a fastball at 5:03, starting the outing, and it was high and away, so Braden works to handle against the lefty. Another close one towards the outer third, but it is just outside. We go 2-0. It all starts with the leadoff hitter in Braden trying to set the tone for Portage. And he's being patient as the fastball misses inside from Ackerman. That's what you want to do against a tough pitcher in Ackerman, is make him work around that first at-bat. And he goes with a 3-0 out of the windup. Misses outside, so it's a 4-pitch walk to Braden. And that begins the day with a base runner for Portage.
The catcher, number 9.
And now the catcher, Isaiah Ruiz, steps up to bat. Ruiz has been a Very good addition to this Portage lineup. The freshman handling things at the varsity level nicely, batting .361 this season with 13 hits. Takes a first pitch strike from Ackerman, and being a freshman on the varsity squad is already tough enough, but doing so while playing a defensive position like catcher. Ackerman steps off, but for Ruiz, handling both the duties of batting as a freshman on varsity and catching behind the plate. He shows bunt, but the pitch was away. They throw down to first. Braden slides in safely. That's not an easy task, though, for an underclassman. You have to deal with all the different pitchers and their varying arrays of pitches that they can throw, and then also try to face tough pitchers like Logan Johnston or Riley Ackerman. As he jabs that bunt towards the pitcher, Ackerman scoops, throws down the line of first to retire Ruiz, but he makes the sacrifice play to advance Braden. Bunt put towards the pitcher, and Ackerman had his head on a swivel, was ready to get to it, and avoided any miscues there, throwing down to first. So 1 out, the runner at second base, and now Hunter Cole will step up to bat. Cole batting third in the lineup and also the starting pitcher for Portage. As Ackerman sends one inside, it gets away from Gaines, but he chases it down. First pitch is a ball. We go 1-0. Cole is a two-way player this year. .353 average, 12 hits, and 11 RBIs. He works with a teammate in scoring position at second base. The 1-0 from Ackerman is inside, gets past the catcher. Braden will scoot from second to third. Now he's in scoring position. So a pitch that Ackerman probably wants back as that was going inside. Cole avoids it, but it also got past his catcher Gaines all the way to the backstop. The count is 2-0. There's now a runner at third base. Now Hunter Cole, Portage's starting pitcher, could help out his own cause by helping them send a run across the plate. The 2-0. At the corner for a strike, we go 2-1. But what a spot for Cole and the Indians here with a runner 90 feet away from scoring. 2-1. Cole swings it away, foul on the first base side. We'll even the count at 2-2. There's 1 out in the inning and a runner at third. But for Ackerman, trying to make sure he can get that command back, locate the zone, and avoid any turbulence here. 2-2. The pitch just misses the upper corner for ball 3, so the count goes full. A good take by Cole. And here comes the payoff pitch. Ball 4, it was high. Cole walks. So 2 walks have put runners on the corners for Portage. And now the batter will be Caleb Hacker.
17, Caleb Hacker.
Hacker was yesterday's starting pitcher, and he pitched very well, but it was ultimately Crown Point able to rally the offense in the 6th inning. But now Hacker gets to work at the plate and could try to drive in a couple of runs. The right-handed batter playing first base today, batting .324, leads Portage with 19 RBIs. And, well, he could add to that total with Braden at third base and Cole at first. And for Hacker, finds himself in a very advantageous spot in his first at-bat. With only 1 out, the first pitch is outside. And for Shane Prance and his team, they are trying to make sure they can make the most out of this situation. You don't want to leave runners on base, certainly not against a tough offensive lineup like Crown Point. As the 1-0 finds the zone, Ackerman evens the count at 1-1. But you want to, if you can apply pressure on the Bulldogs here, you have to try to score one or both of these runs because they can score runs in a hurry. The 1-1. Outside to the backstop. Cole will advance to second. Braden stays put as it took a favorable bounce off the backstop for the catcher Gaines. He was able to play that one on the carom to avoid allowing Braden to charge towards the plate and potentially score. But the count goes to 2-1 now to Caleb Hacker. Ackerman delivers. Sends a fastball to the corner to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. But Hacker has had a very strong start to the season on the mound and at the plate as well. He takes the 2-2 pitch, curling towards center field. It will land. Braden heads to the plate. He scores, turning the corner, going for the plate as well as Cole. The slide, he's safe. And it goes to the backstop, allowing Hacker to move up to second base. So Hacker drives in 2 runs, and it's Portage who will strike first, thanks to that nice swing from Hacker. So a 2-run single from Hacker. As we watch it again, that had some good movement, curling, landing just in front of Langens, allowing Braden and Cole both to score. It was a single for Hacker, and he advanced on the throw to the plate. It was a wide throw that went to the backstop, allowing Cole to score. It could have been a close play at the plate, but that throw was just a little off and gave Cole the time he needed. Now we see Cody Young stepping in to bat against Ackerman. Count is 0-1 to Young. The 0-1 goes outside, evening the count at 1-1. Young, a multi-year starter at quarterback for Portage, a multi-sport athlete, also playing center field for the baseball team. On the 1-1, it's inside, and it gets past, or it goes off the leg pad of Gaines and kicks out along the first base side, allowing Hacker to advance from second to third. So now Hacker just 90 feet away from scoring. There is only 1 out in the inning. That came on a sacrifice bunt by Ruiz. Portage has scored twice. The lefty Ackerman winds and fires to the plate. Young laces it through the infield into left field. Hacker will stroll in to score. It's now a 3-run first inning for Portage. So a good swing from Young. Watching it again here. Just puts that through between third and short. Hacker didn't really have to hustle too much to cross the plate. He was able to make his way across the plate, and now there will be a meeting on the mound for the Bulldogs with their lefty Ackerman looking for outs. And the batter will be Ryan Bogue when this meeting reaches its conclusion. But for Portage, this is the start they needed to face a Crown Point offense that doesn't find themselves trailing very often, certainly not at the bottom of the first inning. So trailing by a crooked number, while the batters from the Bulldogs will have to get active quickly. And Hunter Cole helping out his cause as well. Was able to walk, scored on Hacker's 2 RBI single. That could give him some energy as the starting pitcher, knowing your team has a lead and you played a role in that. But this is a Crown Point team that, well, we've talked about it. They can score a lot of runs and can do so quickly. So there will be plenty of time for them to bounce back. It'll be Sheets, Matusak, and Dunlap to lead things off in the bottom half of this inning. With 1 out and a runner on base, Ryan Bogue will bat. The righty waits for the pitch from the southpaw Ackerman. It's a fastball outside. We go 1-0. Bogue batting .341 this year with 16 RBIs. Young is the runner at first base. He throws down to first. Young slides back safely. But what a start for Portage, and they're not done yet, potentially, with just 1 out in the inning. Ackerman with another throw down to first base. Young avoids any trouble, gets back safely. Now the 1-0. High and squeaks out of the glove of Gaines. He recovers. Makes it a 2-0 count. Crown Point defensively wearing, they're all white uniforms, white hats with red brims, white jerseys with red numbers, white pants with a red stripe down the side. The 2-0 at the corner for a strike. Portage will be wearing red caps with black bills, red jerseys with white numbers, and gray pants to complete their outfit. The 2-1 from Ackerman. tapped foul by Bogue. Swinging just on top of it near the hands, taps it back to the backstop. Evens the count up at 2-2. Bogue trying to break through. Ackerman in search of a couple of outs. Young's running with the pitch. It was a ball. The throw down to second. Not in time. Young slides in safely for a stolen base. So Young got a good jump there, a good head start as Ackerman was delivering towards the plate. The pitch was low for ball 3, and then the throw from Gaines just missing Young, who is now in scoring position at second. The payoff pitch, another foul ball, and also for Young to advance 90 feet, that takes away the chance of a conventional double play, and going from second to first, making things that much trickier for Ackerman and the Bulldogs to try to make their way out of this inning. The count is full at 3-2. Ackerman leans towards the plate, looking for the sign from Gaines. Takes a peek at the runner at second, kicks and goes to the plate. The 3-2, swing and a miss on a good fastball. That's the second out of the inning. Now the batter is Tyler Porowski.
The second baseman, number 3, Tyler Porowski.
Porowski playing second today, batting .333 on the season. 6 RBIs, bats with a runner in scoring position at second, but 2 outs in an inning where Portage has scored 3 runs. Ackerman's first offering, fouled, back to the fence. The count will start with a strike. And now for Ackerman with 2 outs in the inning, you still have to worry about the runner at second base, that's for sure. You have to be mindful of Cody Young, but you can try to get the third out of the inning at the plate here with Porowski batting. Now the 0-1. Low, the throw to second base. Young gets back in time, but the Bulldogs trying to see if they could catch Young wandering a little bit further away than he maybe should be over at second. The count even at a ball and a strike. Ackerman's pitch. Swung on by Porowski, but fouled out of the concourse, so he's behind a ball and 2 strikes. So now Ackerman 1 strike away from escaping this inning and trying to get his bats up to cook up a comeback. The 1-2. Skips its way towards shortstop. Matusak scoops it with the glove, switches to the hand, throws over, and that's out number 3. But it was a 3-run first inning for Portage, a good start for the away team. Now we'll see how the home team responds. That's coming up next when we return. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
IBEW Local 697 isn't just wiring buildings. We're woven into the very fabric of Northwest Indiana. We're your neighbors. Our kids go to school with yours. We stand in the same bleachers cheering for the same high school teams. When you hire a union electrician, you're not just getting the highest quality work. You're supporting our community. IBEW Local 697, proudly powering our own.
Sometimes the hardest part of improving your business isn't coming up with a great idea. It's knowing what to do with it. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services is ready to meet all your industrial and commercial construction needs. Whether it's a small build-out or a complete construction project, Chester will design, build, and finance. Our team eliminates multiple contractors, providing you a single point of contact while staying within your budget. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services, turning your ideas into realities.
Looking to buy or sell in Northwest Indiana? Trust the Nicola Group, one of the region's top real estate teams, delivering a smooth, client-first experience every step of the way. The Nicola Group, the trusted Northwest Indiana real estate team. So Hunter Cole finishes his final warm-up deliveries. He will look to try to put up some quick outs, while the Bulldogs will look to scratch back some runs after allowing 3 runs on 2 hits in the top of the first inning. And, well, this is a Crown Point offense that scores a lot of runs, 159 on the season through 15 games. So, they could put up a crooked number in a heartbeat. Nathan Sheets starts the offense for Crown Point. He'll be followed by Caden Matusak and Sean Dunlap. As Hunter Cole works on the mound, Cole a right-hander, kicks and goes towards the plate. His fastball is high for ball one. Sheets, a sophomore, batting pretty consistently out of the lineup, the top spot in the lineup for Crown Point. Looks to help them bounce back after a tough first inning. The 1-0 is inside. We go 2-0. And, well, we see Sheets take two fastballs up high to start the count 2-0. That was what helped Portage, was a couple of walks. And then Sheets fouls one away, but a couple of walks helped put the pressure on Ackerman. And then it was Hacker who brought them home with a big swing of the bat with a 2-run single. But walks could be the difference in this game. Whichever pitcher allows the fewest free passes could find himself in a good spot. 2-1. Sheets skips it towards shortstop. Braden gets to it. Throws it on the hop towards Hacker as he tries to dig it out. It squeaks out of his glove. So that will allow Sheets to reach base. So maybe a bit of a misplay by Portage as Braden threw it towards the turf, trying to bounce it to Hacker as he tried to make that windmill motion picking it up. It rolls out of his glove. So Sheets reaches, and now Caden Matusak will bat. Matusak, the Michigan commit, the throw over, sliding back safely as Sheets. So, and credit to Sheets, too, not giving up on that ground ball, hustling down the line and able to reach on the error. And another throw from Cole to his first baseman, Hacker. But Sheets reaches on the error. The first pitch to Matusak, called strike one. But the senior shortstop for the Bulldogs, committed to play at Michigan, bats .425 on the season. He'll look to try to bring his team closer. The 0-1 drops in on the off-speed pitch for strike two. It looked like Sheets was getting ready to charge down towards second, but then stopped a couple steps down. And now Cole takes a look at him, goes to the plate, spins a breaking ball high, but inside, makes it a 1-2 count. Matusak with 6 RBIs, 23 runs scored, 5 doubles and 3 triples. The 1-2 pitch fouled away at this backstop, but Cole keeps the count at 1-2. The right-hander trying to, after inducing ground ball contact but unable to record the out, trying to make sure that run doesn't come back to hurt Portage. Throws over to first base. Hacker handles, but sliding in safely with Sheets. Sheets, a speedy runner at first base. You have to be mindful of him. Cole again takes a look over at first base, brings the 1-2 towards the plate. It was high. We go 2-2. Sometimes with that higher fastball, you're maybe expecting the runner to go and trying to help your catcher be able to rise with it, throw to second. Sheets didn't go. The count is even at 2 apiece. Now the breakthrough pitch from Cole. Matusak fouls it away, winding towards the softball field for a loud foul ball. The count remains even at 2-2. Nobody out in the inning, a runner at first base. Cole gets ready to work here. A long set, keeps the glove at the belt. Kicks, goes to the plate, the 2-2. The breaking ball was trying to drop it in the upper third, but it was a little too high, called ball 3. So now we are full. 3-2 the count. And the payoff pitch. Matusak hammers it towards left field, but it will curl and land just past the Crown Point bullpen. A long foul ball as the count remains where it was, 3-2. So just a little bit ahead on that one was the Bulldog shortstop. Got a hold of it, but drove it foul. We'll see if he could straighten one out. That would have been a real game-changing swing if it was fair, but instead it will be a foul ball. We stay 3-2. This time it's elevated towards right field. Stepping towards it is Petrie, and it lands in front of him. It's a single for Matusek. And so everybody's safe on the play. Petrie just had that one run out of steam ahead of him. A nice bloop single from Matusek, and now there are 2 runners on and nobody out for Sean Dunlap. This is the spot you want to be in for Crown Point, with Dunlap up to bat, with the first 2 batters on base and nobody out. Dunlap, one of the top recruits in the Midwest, committed to play at Tennessee, but certainly has been a difference maker all season in his senior campaign. .571 on base percentage, .500 average. Breaking ball at the corner for strike 1. Helping lead the way for the Bulldogs with 29 RBIs on 7 home runs. The count starts with a strike, 0-1. And for Portage, after scoring 3 runs in the top half of this inning, now you have the tying run at the plate. Cole throws over to second base to Purowski, but getting back with plenty of time was Sheets. He's the runner at second. Matusek is at first. There's nobody out. Cole delivers the 0-1 pitch. It's low and away. Dunlap doesn't chase. The count is even at 1-1. So a ball and a strike. The count to Dunlap as Cole looks for the sign from Ruiz. Goes towards the plate. Dunlap lifts it towards center field. Going back to get it is Petrie. The right fielder makes the catch, throws to his relay man, and that keeps everybody staying put where they were. So a long fly ball is caught by Petrie for out number 1, and now the batter will be Connor Gaines. So Cole able to work the first out of the inning against a tough batter in Dunlap. There's still a runner at first and second. With 1 away, the batter will be Connor Gaines. So even though you get that first out, you're not out of the danger zone yet. This is a Crown Point lineup with plenty of threats. Cole spins in a strike. The count begins 0-1. And that's big for Cole here. With 2 on, you can't fall behind in counts. With the pressure already building, the 0-1, he waves over it for strike 2. And that's big for Cole. Just continue throwing strikes to try to get out of this jam. Walks could lead to trouble, as we saw in the first half of the inning. So to be able to locate your pitches for strikes and stay ahead in counts, that will help you try to work out of this. Now the 0-2. Inside for a ball. We go 1-2. Sheets is at second. He reached on an error. Then Matusek followed that up with a single. There are runners at first and second. Now the 0-2 pitch from Cole. Skips its way towards third base. The throw to second for... No, they will not get the out. Portage was trying to turn 2 as Bogue threw to Purowski, but beating the play at second was Matusek. So now the bases are loaded with just 1 out for Crown Point. As Gaines reaches on the fielder's choice. Everybody's safe on the play. It was a bouncing ground ball to third base. Bogue threw to second, but Matusek beats the throw. And now Andrew Long bats with a teammate at every base and just 1 out. Cole's pitch, fastball outside, begins the count 1-0. So Sheets is at third, Matusek at second, and Gaines at first. Only 1 out. That occurred on Dunlap's fly out to right. Cole gets ready for the 1-0. Long fouls it to the backstop, evening the count at 1-1. That was in near the hands, and he just battled it away. A ball and a strike to Long. And this is one of those spots where you can, if you just drop something towards the outfield, they could score 1, maybe 2 runs, trying to bring Crown Point back in this game as they trail by 3 in their first at-bats of the ball game. The 1-1. Long pokes it towards second base. Purowski has to charge. The only play is to first base, so they will get the out there, but it chases in a run. Sheets scores on the ground out from Long, but it puts Crown Point on the board. Gaines goes from first to second, but Tusak from second to third. It's an RBI ground out for Long. And now the batter is Brody Langens with 2 batters in scoring position and 2 outs. So that's where maybe a couple of those defensive misplays end up hurting Portage. The leadoff batter Sheets reached on an error. He scores, then unable to get any outs on that fielder's choice to third base. Made it that much trickier, so the ground ball scores a run. And now Cole, and out away from getting through this inning with 1 run in the bank. Brody Langens, the junior center fielder, bats right-handed against the right-handed pitcher in Cole. His first pitch, fastball away. We go 1-0. Langens bats .283 on the year, .333 on base percentage, slugging .457, 13 hits, 5 doubles, and with 14 RBIs to speak of. And we'll see a pinch runner at second base for the catcher, Gaines, with 2 outs in the inning. So it will be a batter that runs for him. And the count 1-0. Breaking ball high, misses from Cole, so that makes it a 2-0 count. Just wasn't able to locate that where he wanted to. It spun high. 2 balls, no strikes in the count with 2 away and 2 on. But an eventful first inning. The 2-0 pitch finds the zone for a strike. We go 2-1. Portage scored 3 runs in the top half. Crown Point has scored 1 with the potential for more in the bottom half. Cole trying to put an end to that. Now his 2-1 pitch. Good movement on the breaking ball. Finds the zone. We go 2-2. Spins, was looking high, but then spins into the top of the zone for a good location. The breakthrough. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Cole retires Langens to end the inning. But the Bulldogs are able to score 1 run. We are through 1. It's Portage 3, Crown Point 1. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Mortaranos Roofing is a family-owned business established in 1986, celebrating over 40 years. We have completed over 5,600 roof replacements, repairs, and chimney projects, focused in Northwest Indiana and Southwest Michigan. Mortaranos Roofing has always put family, friends, and customers first in our mission to complete roofing projects with the greatest care and consideration as if it was our own. Give them a call today for a free estimate at 219-872-8246. Mortaranos Roofing. Protect your past, present, and future roofs for you and your loved ones and your legacy.
You ready? Let's go! Yeah! For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, yo. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
Your future starts
here.
To keep up with all things Region Sports, be sure to check us out on our social media pages. We are always active on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, and at our website at regionsports.com. Celebrating over 25 years, we are proud to still be the only game in town. 8-9 in the top of the order to bat here for Portage. It'll be Petrie, Hodges, and Braden.
Number 7, Hunter Petrie.
Hunter Petrie, the right fielder, will try to keep things rolling for Portage after they were able to develop 3 runs in their first at-bats. Petrie lofts this towards center field, but Langens is able to camp out and make the catch for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Ackerman on the hill in the second inning. And for the junior lefty Ackerman, this is where you learn about the maturation of a young pitcher. How do you bounce back after a first inning where things didn't quite go your way, but there's still a lot of baseball left to be played? He winds and sends one towards Hodges. Hodges, one of 2 freshmen in the lineup for Portage, opens the count 1-0. Bats .308 on the year. has scored 5 runs and works the count 2-0. Also important, he has 6 walks on the year. That's something when a freshman in the lineup on varsity, trying to make sure you have a good eye. This count goes 2-1, but Portage, a very impressive postseason last year, finishing the season 13-13. The 2-1, low, but they played one of the more memorable games we called in last year's state tournament in that sectional semifinal, upsetting Chesterton, the 3-1. Outside for ball 4, Hodges works a walk. He will set things up for Brody Braden with 1 out and a runner at first base. But in that upset win over Portage, they showed a lot after they were trailing 3-0 after the top of the first inning. They would then go on to score, it was 8 unanswered runs to win 8-3 against a tough Chesterton team. And that Portage group that did that in the postseason tournament last year, a lot of sophomores and juniors playing. So now with that experience they would fall to Valparaiso in the sectional championship in lopsided fashion, but with a big postseason win against Chesterton, that's something to build off for now a team that's a lot of juniors and seniors. Braden takes a strike to open the at-bat from Ackerman. So the count begins 0-1 to the top of the order, and Brody Braden, he walked and scored in the first inning. We'll talk about that sectional game more later, maybe in the bottom of the inning when Cole's up to pitch, because he was a key player in that one. The throw over to first base, and this is still a relatively young, or maybe an inexperienced in some spots group from Portage with a couple of freshmen playing, but for those seniors that got a big win against a rival in Chesterton last year, that's something they've been able to turn into a lot of wins, as the 0-1 was low. The throw to first, not in time. Getting back safely was Hodges, but now with 11 wins on the year, they've almost matched last year's win total, as we're in late April and still a lot of season left to play. The 1-1. Called strike 2. And then we talked about what a tough schedule they're playing, and they're in the middle of a tough spot right now, having faced Valpo last week, facing Andrean later this week, Lake Central next week. This is where you're going to find out a lot of what this team's made of. The 1-2, foul and curling out of the concourse. But in a year where I think the Duneland is very deep, you have Crown Point at the top. That's a team that's 14-1 on the year. They made easy work of Valpo in that 2-game series a couple weeks ago. The 1-2, fouled away. And Valpo's certainly very tough, too. Defending state champs bring back a lot of that group. And then with Lake Central, Chesterton, and Portage, this is one of those seasons where the Duneland Conference, very strong, and it could be a year where anyone could beat anyone in the regular season. And now the 1-2 from Ackerman. Breaking ball, he was trying to backdoor it. It just misses outside to even the count at 2-2, but with a lot of these Duneland teams in the same sectionals, there could be a lot of upsets in the postseason, and you think a lot of these teams could make a trip to Victory Field at the end of the year. The 2-2, skipped foul. Running with the pitch was Hodges. He'll have to make the long trip back to first base as he slid headfirst to second, so dirties the uniform up a little bit, but that will have to make his way back to first, right where he was originally. Hodges the runner at first base, Braden the runner at the plate. The count is even at 2-2 with 1 out in the inning. The breakthrough pitch from Ackerman, no, he'll throw over to first base. Johnston hangs on, and sliding in was Hodges. Johnston was yesterday's winning pitcher. He plays first base. Ackerman will throw over again. Ackerman looking to work some outs here with the top of the order up for their second visit to face him. The 2-2. Called strike 3. The fastball catches Braden looking. There was some good life on that fastball from Ackerman. There are 2 away, a runner at first, and now the batter will be Isaiah Ruiz. Ruiz laid down a sacrifice bunt in his first trip up against Ackerman. Now with 2 outs, we'll get to see him swing away. The freshman catcher bats, and charging towards second base is Hodges. He is out. They erase the base runner. That's the 3rd out of the inning. We'll have to wait until the next inning to see Ruiz swing away. So we will head to the bottom of the 2nd. It's Portage leading 3-1. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
On-Site Generator Solutions is a locally owned and operated power partner for Northwest Indiana homes. With over 14 years of experience, they handle tasks such as generators, residential electric, plumbing, automotive care, and more. You can find them on Facebook. Give them a call at 219-516-6800 or search them up on the web at onsitegeneratorsolutions.com. On-Site Generator Solutions. Power you could count on every time, everywhere.
Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Athletics and say Go Bulldogs. Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in city services, and encouraging smart growth. Visit Bulldog Park on select Saturdays for the Crown Point Farmers Market beginning May 23rd. Purchase wares from 70-plus vendors from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. through September 26th. For more information, visit crownpoint.info/farmersmarket. Bottom 2 here at White Maley Field, where Portage leads over Crown Point 3-1. Logan Johnston, Carson Payne, and Nomikos Zeronius will be the due-up batters in the last of the 2nd. 7, 8, and 9 in the Bulldog lineup. Hunter Cole stays on the mound for Portage. So Cole, a Purdue Northwest recruit, pitches to Johnston, a Indiana recruit. Speeds in a first pitch strike, a fastball at the outer third. Cole was the winning pitcher in that sectional semifinal game for Portage, that 8-3 win after, I would call it one of the grittiest performances I've seen from a pitcher in that win as he loops in a breaking ball to the corner. We go 0-2. Lost in that, too, was there was a 50-minute rain delay. Cole threw the complete game in that, so he had to, as he brings the 0-2 to the plate, it's lofted towards right field. Petrie works into foul territory, trying to get a beat on it, and it escapes him and drops. No, was he able to make the catch there? It escaped my field of vision. Looking now at the umpire, he signaled that he did catch it. It was deep in the corner, and making the catch was Petrie on a bit of a misadventure on that journey trying to find it. He stumbled a little bit. That's why I thought maybe he didn't get it, but he got it. But going back to Hunter Cole, went the distance in that win. 7 innings, 8 hits against, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 3 walks, and 9 strikeouts as it's fouled away. The first pitch by Carson Payne, enduring a 50-minute rain delay, too. So that could have been a challenge, being away from the game for 50 minutes, having to get loose again, and he was still able to bring in some strikes after Chesterton struck first. 3 runs in the first inning, but Cole really bounced back well. It was one of those where even though Chesterton may have been the favorite, it was Cole's night, and there was nothing anyone could do about it, as he was able to go to the distance and get the win. He brings the 0-2 towards home. That one's high. The count goes 1-2 to the batter Carson Payne. But that was certainly a good effort from Hunter Cole to face some tough batters from Chesterton. Now his 1-2. Fastball high and inside, almost gets Payne. He has to lean out of the way. It'll even the count at 2-2. Payne nearly hit by that one, had to get away. The left fielder trying to reach base here with one down, nobody on. Now the 2-2. Outside, we go full. Payne has worked his way back into the at-bat after being down 0-2. He bats .323 on the season with 10 hits, has scored 10 runs. He's worked the count full. Cole gets ready for the payoff pitch. Poke towards third base. Bogue gets it, fires across the diamond in time to retire Payne. So Payne got that off the end of the bat, played it towards third. Bogue went sliding to his left and handled it. And now that sets things up for Nomikos Zeronius to bat with 2 outs and nobody on. Zeronius was the hero yesterday for Crown Point, brought in as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning, where he would get the game-tying triple, RBI triple, and then score the go-ahead run on a wild pitch. We'll see what he can do here with nobody on base and 2 away. With the top of the order on deck, Cole spins in the breaking ball for a strike. And for Cole, this is an important out to get to avoid having to face the top of the order in this inning. You could face them with a clean inning in the 3rd if you're able to retire Zeronius. And the next one, called strike 2. Zeronius batting .379 on the year with 9 hits, 12 RBIs. But he's behind 0-2 here. Cole gets ready and will fire to the plate. He waves over it for strike 3 on the off-speed pitch. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Hunter Cole. We will head to the 3rd inning with Portage leading 3-1. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
I was born, raised, started the family, and worked my nearly 30-year career in law enforcement, both as a local police officer and as an ATF agent, all here in Lake County. I promise to lead differently, restore the public's trust in the Sheriff's Department, and to build a world-class police organization that is focused on serving you. In this election, Lake County residents have a different choice, a better way. I'm Jason Gore, and I approve this message.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
Down, sit, hut.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man superhero of the game. Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals. Riley Ackerman on the mound for Crown Point. He will face Ruiz, Cole, and Hacker from Portage. Ruiz was batting in the 2nd inning when it was Hodges caught stealing to end the inning, so he gets another look against Ackerman. He laid down a sacrifice bunt in his first at-bat. Now he leads off the inning, the freshman catcher Ruiz. And that first at-bat, we were talking about Ruiz having to step in at the varsity level as a freshman while catching and hitting. The 1-0, tapped away foul, but he's been doing it well both behind the plate and at the plate offensively, batting .361 this year, .558 on base percentage, slugging .417. With the count even at 1-1, Ackerman winds, goes to the plate, sends a fastball to the corner, 1-2. 2 doubles for Ruiz, 7 RBIs, 19 runs scored, and 12 walks. That's impressive for a freshman batter. The 1-2. Grounded towards shortstop. Matusak is able to vacuum it up, throws to first. That's the first out. Ruiz grounds out to short. And a nice play by Matusak, making it look routine, being able to circle to that ground ball, scoop it up with the glove, make the transition from glove to hand and throw over. But the shortstop making it look easy, but there's nothing routine about a sharp grounder, but a very strong defensive shortstop in Matusak is able to record the first out. Now Hunter Cole bats against his counterpart, Ackerman. He sends one deep in the hole to second base, but Sheets is able to backhand it, throws to first, and just like that, there are 2 outs in the inning. 2 ground outs, one to each middle infielder, a ground out to Matusek, and one to Sheets have recorded the first 2 outs of the third inning. Now Caleb Hacker will bat for Portage with 2 down and nobody on base. Hacker was the subject of a good article in the Post-Tribune where talked about how he's had a strong junior year, trying to have an even better senior year, and some of the things he worked on this year to produce both on the mound and at the plate, increase the velocity on his fastball, and has got the on-base percentage and average up this year as well. The count goes 2-1, but worked on his timing at the plate and keeping his hands lower on his swing. As he's seen the average at .324 this year, on-base percentage .489, slugging .529. Had a 2 RBI single in the first inning. The 3-1 is inside for ball 4, so Hacker works a 2-out walk to keep the inning going for Portage, and now the batter will be Cody Young.
18, Cody.
In that same article, Shane Prance talked about how this team this year, the first group of players he's had for all 4 years, and a couple of multi-year varsity starters in Hacker and Cole and Cody Young as well, trying to make some noise in a tough Duneland field this year and try to win a couple trophies, as they said, in the state tournament. The first pitch to Young gets past the catcher, and Hacker will advance 90 feet. Taking some of that valuable experience from last year and trying to turn it over to this year. This is a Crown Point team similar to that, with a lot of multi-year starters seeming to try to put it all together and go for a run down state, as they fell to Valpo in the regional championship last year. The 0-1 is outside. And what a game that was. Caden Kroll pitched for Valpo, and that was a real close one at the Steel Yard. The count 1-1, but Crown Point motivated going into the 2026 season as Ackerman sends one backdoor for strike 2. Cody Young bats. He had an RBI single in the first inning. Bats with 2 outs and a runner at second base. The pitch from Ackerman. He swings through it for strike 3. That will put the inning to an end. A 2-out walk doesn't hurt the Bulldogs. We're through 2.5. Portage still leads. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Meet Scott Miller, a lifelong Northwest Indiana resident. Scott has spent his career serving his community as a teacher, school leader, and superintendent of Hammond schools. Today, he serves as chief of staff for the city of Hammond, helping lead operations and guide decisions that impact local families every day. Known for tackling tough challenges and making responsible, honest decisions, Scott is ready to bring steady leadership to the Lake County Council. Scott Miller, responsible, experienced, ready.
Located in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, the newly renovated Hampton Inn is within walking distance to over 30 restaurants and attractions, including Lucas Oilfield and Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a fitness center. Why wait? Make your reservations today. Call 317-261-1200 or make them on the web at hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point athletics and say, "Go Bulldogs." Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in city services, and encouraging smart growth. Visit Bulldog Park on select Saturdays for the Crown Point Farmers Market beginning May 23rd. Purchase wares from 70-plus vendors from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. through September 26th. For more information, visit crownpoint.info/farmersmarket. The top of the order returns to bat for Crown Point, their second trip up against Hunter Cole. Sheets, Matusek, and Dunlap will bat as Sheets fouls one away. Sheets reached on an error and came in to score in his first at-bat in the first inning. Crown Point trails 3-1, but the part of the order batting now that could try to crank up a comeback. The 0-1, Sheets plays it on the ground towards Braden at short. He collects, throws over, and this time retires Sheets for the first out. So that is the way Cole wants to start the inning, with one pitch and a ground out, or two pitches and a ground out.
Shortstop, number 7, Caden Matusek.
With Caden Matusek batting, who singled in the first inning. So the toughest part of the order for Crown Point bats with one out. And talk about Cole with that gritty performance last year against Chesterton. That was a gritty first inning, too, where he had multiple base runners on. As this one skips through the middle of the infield, getting to it is Braden. He throws, and it's wide, and it goes to the fence. So that pulls Hacker off the base. Matusek reaches, and a bit of a wild throw. And that puts the runner Matusek on base with one away. But so now Cole has to get gritty again with a runner advancing to second on the overthrow. And now Sean Dunlap batting. Dunlap bats with one out and a runner in scoring position. That was a tough one for Braden at short. He was rounding past second, had to turn the hips and through. It was wide. It pulled Hacker off and went to the fence and allows Matusek. He is awarded second base there. So Sean Dunlap bats with a runner on and one away. He goes after the off-speed pitch, but is above it for strike one. But Dunlap leading the way with 29 RBIs for Crown Point. Could make it 30 with a teammate in scoring position here. Cole gets ready for the 0-1. Dunlap checks up on it, and it gets the umpire. The umpire gets hit by that pitch. It was ball one. So he will take some time to regroup. As that was a scary play there. It was a fastball up high, and now there will be timeout on the field as there will be a meeting on the mound. Hunter Cole and his teammates trying to settle things down with one out and a runner at second. And that's similar to what we saw in the first inning, where the leadoff man reached on an error. Then Matusek singled. The bases were loaded, where then there was a RBI ground out by Andrew Long to bring in a run, and Cole had to try to limit the damage there, pitched his way out of trouble with a fly out to Dunlap and a strikeout to Langens, but with a runner on that may not be a runner you earned, you have to try to lock in, get outs, and don't allow this Bulldog team to storm back in, as they have scored 160 runs on the year. You know they can, just a couple of big swings can change the game, so you have to be mindful of what they can do. And certainly Sean Dunlap here, a player that you can't make a mistake to. We've seen a few this year that he's just crushed for home runs. The 1-1 pitch, fastball, called strike two. There was that one against Valpo that went to the driveway and bounced towards the school, well over 400 feet. They count 1-2 to Dunlap. There's a runner at second, one away. Cole takes a look at that runner. Now goes towards the plate. The 1-2 pitch spins inside and low to even the count at 2-2. We've seen Cole with those good pitches, good movement on that breaking ball, but that time wasn't able to locate it where he wanted against Dunlap. Now the 2-2 pitch. Dunlap goes after it, can't catch up. That's strike three and the second out of the inning. Cole gets a big strikeout. Now he will face Connor Gaines. That fastball was towards the outer third of the plate. You tempt a good pitcher in Dunlap saying, here's the fastball, try to get it. He wasn't able to get it there. But Cole, with two outs now in the inning, goes to the plate. Low and away. Gaines reached on a fielder's choice, that ground ball to third base where Portage tried to throw it around the horn to get a double play, but didn't get any outs on the play. But a runner now on second base for Gaines. He's trying to bring him home. Gaines sends it to shortstop. Sliding, getting to it is Braden. He steps up, throws to first. Just in time for out number 3. Crown Point's able to get a runner in scoring position, but he will be left there as we are through 3. Portage still leading 3-1. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Get Pulse technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Have you heard? Strachan-Mantell was voted Best of the Region 2025 in several categories, including Best Caterer, Deli, Flower Shop, Food and Grocery Delivery, Fried Chicken, Place to Buy Produce, Place to Buy Seafood, Loyalty Program, and Grocery Store. We're proud to be recognized by our community, and we're committed to continuing to deliver the variety, value, and convenience you deserve. See for yourself what it means to be the best when you shop at Strachan-Mantell.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. Brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. Top of the 4th inning at Crown Point, where Portage leads 3-1. They will step up to bat now. It'll be Bogue, Porowski, and Petrie to bat here against Ackerman. Ackerman, who had a bumpy first inning allowing those 3 runs, has settled into a good groove since then. And that's a big step for a young pitcher. What do you do after you give up a crooked number in the first inning of work, in which he walked 2 batters, a wild pitch advanced a runner, there was a passed ball in that. So an inning where things seem to be getting out of control, but then he's locked in nicely. Worked a quick inning in the second where he was able to throw out a runner at first and added a strikeout there, and then also worked another quick inning with a strikeout in the third inning. So he's bounced back nicely, has settled into a good groove, has held Portage to just 2 hits. Both of those were in the first inning. The walks have been there, but he's trying to... He's pitched well with runners on base, too. And now Ryan Bogue leads off the inning. Bogue was one of those strikeout victims in the first inning. Ackerman winds and goes to the plate. Bogue lofts the first pitch high and out of play for a foul ball. But Ackerman, the Northwestern recruit, has been able to bounce back after a tough first inning and put a couple zeros on the board, trying to keep his team in this game. The 0-1, Bogue gets it off the end of the bat, and it curls foul towards the softball field. And skips onto the field, but the count 0-2. Ackerman to Bogue, trying to find a backdoor breaking ball, but it was just a little low. But Bogue with a 1-2 count, trying to reach base for the first time this evening. The 1-2. Fastball low, we go 2-2. Bogue, the senior infielder, takes the 2-2 off the end of the bat towards second base. Sheets, gathers, throws for the first out at first base. So Pogue was able to make contact there, getting it off the end of the bat, but laces it towards second. And now, what will we have here? There's something going on with the catcher's gear. And with 1 out in the inning, appears we have now a defensive change too. Sean Dunlap's behind the plate, it would look like. So getting the equipment set up, but Dunlap behind the plate now. Ackerman's still on the mound. And a strike to the batter, Porowski. So 0-1 the count to Porowski, who grounded out his first time. He fouls it to the screen. So 0-2, Porowski finds himself behind against Ackerman. He tries to get to the 0-2. It was low. The bottom fell out. The throw down to first base to retire Porowski. So a strikeout for Ackerman puts the second out on the board.
Number 7, Hunter Petrie.
Hunter Petrie bats now with 2 outs and nobody on base. So the Bulldogs changing things up a little bit defensively as Petrie takes a first pitch strike. You have Dunlap behind the plate, Payne in right field, and a new left fielder. And with the count 0-1, Ackerman gets Petrie to go after that one, but he can't line it up really. The count now 0-2. So Ackerman now with his 4th strikeout, and it's been real impressive since that 4th inning how he's been able to find his rhythm, find his command, and really retire a lot of Portage batters. Now the 0-2. At the corner for strike 3, back-to-back punch-outs to end the inning. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Ackerman. We're halfway home, heading to the bottom of the 4th inning with Portage leading 3-1. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Leading off for the Bulldogs, the third baseman.
Last of the 4th inning, Andrew Long leads off the inning for Crown Point. Long followed by Langens and Johnston to bat, with Crown Point chasing 2, and they'll try to help out their starting pitcher Riley Ackerman, who worked a quick top half of the inning, 2 strikeouts and a ground out for the lefty. Checking on the first pitch, the appeal, it will be strike 1 to Long. The count 0-1 to Andrew Long, who drove in the only run of the game for Crown Point with that ground out to second as he lifts one foul, but carrying towards the right field bullpen for a long strike 2. Looked like it at first looked playable. A lot of Portage players running over, but it continued to carry out. And now the count, no balls and 2 strikes to Long. Cole gets ready, kicks and goes to the plate. His 0-2 pitch is a fastball high for ball 1. Andrew Long, the senior, playing third base this evening. Waits for the 1-2. Sends this one carrying towards center field, but Young has a play on it, makes the catch for the first out. Young makes the catch as Long is out. The batter will now be Brody Langens.
Number 3, Brody Langens.
Langens struck out to end the first inning in his first meeting with Cole. He'll look for a different result here in the top of the 4th inning. Crown Point, 1 run on 2 hits, trying to develop some base runners here against Cole. They've put a couple runners on with some errors defensively for Portage. And it's a first pitch at the corner from Cole. With that fastball, he kicks, goes to the plate again. This time it's a ball. Cole, who's just like Ackerman, has been in a good rhythm here, trying to keep things rolling as we are in the fourth. Spins a breaking ball high. We go 2-1. Was able to pitch out of trouble in the first inning, allowing just one run, and an inning where Crown Point left 2 runners on base. That one's away. We go 3-1. A 1-2-3 inning in the second. Allowed a runner to reach on an error in the third, but then was able to escape that without allowing that runner to score. Now his 3-1 pitch gets part of the zone for a strike. We go full at 3-2. 3 strikeouts in the game for Cole. And has been able to work pitching to contact, doing it well. The payoff, off-speed pitch, swinging above it was Langens for strikeout number 4. Hunter Cole has put 2 outs on the board in the 4th inning. The batter will now be Logan Johnston. Johnston bats, and he was yesterday's winning pitcher for Crown Point. What a game he had. 13 strikeouts, just 1 hit against in 7 innings to earn the win for the Bulldogs. Now he bats, tries to catch up to that fastball from Cole. Always intrigued at the high school level when you see players that can pitch and hit. For players like Johnston, you know how pitchers think, what they might be trying to do in these spots. If it gives you that strategic element, the 0-1, breaking ball for strike 2, it's almost like a quarterback that's played some defense too. You know maybe what's going through Hunter Cole's mind here with an 0-2 count, 2 outs in the inning, maybe trying to guess where he's trying to go to retire the batter. On the 0-2, Johnston fouls it away, and certainly he knows how that could be disruptive to an at-bat when you foul away a 2-strike pitch and have to keep the at-bat going. Johnston flew out to right field in his first at-bat. Well, he has to get defensive here with 2 strikes. Cole's 0-2 pitch. Fastball inside, just low at the knees against Johnston. Makes it a 1-2 count. But both of these players, Cole and Johnston, pitch and hit. The 1-2 outside makes it a 2-2 count. Keeps you involved in the game too, especially for Johnston when you're not pitching. You can hit on those off days and still contribute on multiple days for your team. The 2-2. Skipped towards second base. It'll be a tough play for Porowski to make. He can't backhand it. It gets past him to allow Johnston to reach. So that was a bouncing ground ball deep through the middle infield. Porowski charged towards it, tried to scoop it up. It gets away from him. It's scored as a single. So Johnston reaches. And now the batter will be Carson Payne. Payne bats right-handed, steps in to face Cole for the second time. He grounded out to third base in his first plate appearance. Payne will look to try to deliver here with 2 outs in the inning and a runner at first base. And for Cole, after allowing a 2-out single, you try to just bounce back, go for the batter at the plate, and don't let that unravel the inning. Payne tries to line up a bunt, but couldn't quite get to it. The bottom was falling out on that one. He had to reach over and just couldn't get there with the bat, so it's 0-1. Cole against Payne. Cole kicks out of the stretch, speeds in a strike at the corner. Now 0-2, and for Cole, after allowing that 2-out single, the best way you can bounce back is doing what he just did. Work 2 quick strikes to get ahead in the count. Now the 0-2. Payne elevates it towards center field. Young will range over, makes the catch for out number 3. So the 2-out single doesn't hurt Cole. We are through 4. Portage leads 3-1. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Facebook and web pages to catch all the action around the region.
Stay with us after the game, and we'll name the Proud to Be Union play of the game presented by Ironworkers Local 395. Ironworkers 395. Go to ironworkers395.com to start your future as a union ironworker. It'll be Hodges, and then the top of the order, Braden and Ruiz up to bat for Portage as they lead 3-1, but with 2 hits and a couple of additional base runners, you certainly think they would like to add an extra run or 2 here against a tough team like Crown Point. You can't exactly feel comfortable leading by 2 as we're wrapping up the second trip through the lineup. Ackerman sends a fastball up high that Hodges couldn't get to. The lefty winds and fires his 0-1. This time it's a fastball low. Dunlap keeps it in front of him. The count goes 1-1. Hodges walked in his first at-bat, but then was caught in a rundown and retired to end the inning in the second. Now the 1-1. Backdoor for strike 2. Nice movement from Ackerman. And facing a tough lefty, he's been able to really keep this part of the order in check against Portage in his second trip through the lineup. The 1-2 goes to the far corner for strike 3, catches Hodges looking for his 5th strikeout of the game and his 3rd in a row. So that speaks to how Ackerman's been able to do it. He's been getting at batters out at the plate. Now, the last 2 strikeouts have both been looking to Petrie and to Hodges. He retired Porowski, then Petrie, and now Hodges to start the inning. The leadoff hitter, Braden, fouls away the first pitch, so Ackerman has gotten better as the game has gone on after a tough first inning with a couple of walks, a wild pitch, and now he's been able to settle in, get outs on the board, and keep the base paths empty. It's been a good day on the mound following that first inning for Ackerman, and for that Crown Point offense, you want to try to win the game for him. When he's been battling, brings the 0-1 to the plate, going over it, and maybe getting a piece of it was Braden. But when you see a pitcher like Ackerman being able to rally back after maybe he didn't have his best stuff in the first inning, but he's been spot on since then, you want to try to win the game for that guy after he's been dealing. And we'll see what Crown Point can do in the bottom half of this inning, but right now, Ackerman has the count 1-2 to Braden. Braden walked and scored in the first inning and then struck out in the second. The 1-2 was looking for that far corner, didn't quite get it. Evens the count at 2-2. But Ackerman certainly helping give the Bulldogs a chance here. The 2-2 fouled away. And for Portage, that makes it even more crucial that they were able to take advantage of those walks in the first inning, because that's one of those spots. Sometimes you don't know if you're going to get a better opportunity throughout the course of the game. The 2-2, fouled away by Braden, but when you're able to get multiple runners on in the top of the first inning, you have to try to capitalize on it, because now we've seen Ackerman. It's been tough to get multiple runners on since. His windup in the 2-2. Swing and a miss, high fastball. Braden couldn't catch up to it. It's another strikeout for Ackerman, his 4th in a row. So 4 in a row for Ackerman, 7 total. Isaiah Ruiz will try to make something happen with 2 outs in the inning and nobody on base. Ruiz had a sacrifice bunt and a ground out in his first 2 meetings with Ackerman. Takes a first pitch strike from the lefty. That one's tough to get to. That fastball at the lower corner. The 0-1. Foul tip to Dunlap, and now Ruiz finds himself behind 0-2. Down to his last strike in the inning, in which Ackerman has worked very quickly, and the command has been there. Time called as Ackerman and Dunlap were going through the signs there. See if they can agree on something as the windup and the 1-2. Called ball one. Ball one now makes it a 1-2 count. It's worth noting, too, the Dunlap behind the plate now, too, started in right field. The 1-2, poked away foul by Ruiz. So Ackerman settled into a groove, working with two different catchers today, too, and he's been very tough to get anything going against in the last couple innings. Now the 1-2 pitch. Ruiz bounces it to third base. The play at first is in time. Long is able to throw out Ruiz. It's a 1-2-3 inning. We will head to the bottom of the fifth. Crown Point trails 3-1. Their bats will be up next. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Athletics and Say Go Bulldogs. Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in city services, and encouraging smart growth. Visit Bulldog Park on select Saturdays for the Crown Point Farmers Market beginning May 23rd. Purchase wares from 70-plus vendors from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. through September 26th. For more information, visit crownpoint.info/farmersmarket. Hunter Cole returns to the mound for another inning of work. He will be facing Zeronius, Sheets, and Matusek for the Bulldogs. And for Crown Point, after Riley Ackerman has been dealing on the mound, they will try to generate some runs, chasing two. They scored one run in the first inning, as they're now behind 3-1. But they could use some help here from Zeronius.
18, Nomikos, Zeronius.
Zeronius was part of the heroics in last night's win. It was another close game between these two for a Portage group that's trying to make some noise here. They will try to see if they can now continue to keep the Crown Point offense quiet as Zeronius chops it foul along the third baseline, but Sean Payne talked about how, or head coach Shane Prance talked about how this Portage team has a quiet confidence this year, and you can see some of that in the way they've handled this game, a close game against Crown Point. The 0-1, nice breaking ball for strike two, but sometimes you see with a group in a close game in which, I'll be honest, they may be considered the underdog today, but that's where you maybe rush, accelerate things, make mistakes. The 0-2 skips towards third base. Bogue gets there. The throw to first, handled by Hacker. Quick throw by Bogue for out number one, but this is a Portage team that's defensively made the right play at the right time, has pitched their way out of trouble with runners on base. You talk about that quiet confidence. They've been showing it today in the first inning to not help out Ackerman as his command might not have been there. They worked two walks and then made him pay for it. Portage certainly looking confident today. The first pitch to Nathan Sheets. In for strike one. Sheets reached on an error and scored in the first inning, grounded out to short in the third. He's behind 0-1 in his third meeting with Cole. Shows bunt here, pokes it towards the pitcher. Cole charges in. The throw towards first base gets away from Hacker. It rolls into foul territory in right field. Sheets will go for 2. He reaches second. As the throw from Cole was low, Hacker tried to get it in the dirt, but it gets past him. The error puts Sheets at second base.
Shortstop, number 7, Caden.
And that's the part that's hurt Portage today. Has been 3 errors defensively, and they will try to make sure this one doesn't hurt them. To the leadoff batter, Sheets, and now Caden Matusak will bat. Matusak has reached base twice today on a single and an error. With 1 out in the inning, a runner at second base. The first pitch, Matusak floats it towards center field. Young will take a couple steps in and makes the catch for out number 2. Young didn't really have to travel a long distance to get to that one. It was 2 steps in, look up, and make the catch just above the shoulder for the second out. And now Sean Dunlap will step up for Crown Point. Dunlap bats with 2 outs and a runner at second base. Dunlap started the day in right field, now works behind the plate as the catcher. He has a flyout and a strikeout in the game, so trying to break through against Cole. Cole takes a peek at the runner Sheets at second base, now kicks and goes to the plate. Dunlap tries to catch up to the off-speed breaking ball, but he's swinging over it for strike 1. So 0-1 the count to Dunlap. Cole trying to pitch his way out and not let that 1-out error hurt him, as that was the bunt by Sheets that he just had a bit of a misfire on the throw. The 0-1 upstairs for a ball. But for a pitcher, if you can erase your own error, that can help out your confidence, help out your cause. As Cole will bat to lead off the 6th inning. With the 1-1 count, there's activity in the Portage bullpen. Dunlap fouls away the 1-1 pitch to the right side of the diamond, makes it a 1-2 count, but there's activity in the Portage bullpen. A right-hander getting loose. You wonder where exactly the pitch count is for Cole, if maybe he's reaching the end of his journey. The count 1-2 to Dunlap. The right-hander Cole goes to the plate. 1-2. Dunlap skips it towards short. Braden handles, throws to first base to retire Dunlap to end the inning. Crown Point leaves a runner stranded at second base. As we're through 5, Portage leads 3-1. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
IBEW Local 697 isn't just wiring buildings. We're woven into the very fabric of Northwest Indiana. We're your neighbors. Our kids go to school with yours. We stand in the same bleachers cheering for the same high school teams. When you hire a union electrician, you're not just getting the highest quality work. You're supporting our community. IBEW Local 697, proudly powering our own.
Sometimes the hardest part of improving your business isn't coming up with a great idea. It's knowing what to do with it. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services is ready to meet all your industrial and commercial construction needs. Whether it's a small build-out or a complete construction project, Chester will design, build, and finance. Our team eliminates multiple contractors, providing you a single point of contact while staying within your budget. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services, turning your ideas into realities.
To keep up with all things Region Sports, be sure to check us out on our social media pages. We're always active on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, and at our website at regionsports.com. Celebrating over 25 years, we're proud to still be the only game in town. We start the 6th inning at Crown Point, where it's the visitors from Portage leading 3-1. They will step up to bat. It will be Cole, Hacker, and Young, a trio of seniors to lead off the inning, and they will look to try to build and add to this lead in facing a talented Crown Point team, a high-scoring Crown Point team. You can't exactly feel safe with a 2-run lead. They will try to see if they can distance themselves a bit, but facing a pitcher in Riley Ackerman who has really been dealing the last 4 innings, putting goose eggs on the board, has struck out 7 batters, including 4 of the last 5. And it'll be Hunter Cole leading off the inning. Cole has pitched out of some trouble with base runners, and he'll look to try to make things a little bit easier on the mound by contributing offensively here. Cole walked and scored in the first inning, couldn't catch up to the high fastball for strike 1, and then a breaking ball misses away for ball 1. Cole, the senior, stepping in to pitch today, waits for the 1-1. It's outside. We go 2-1. This part of the lineup with Cole, Hacker, and Young, 3 multi-year starters playing in their last high school seasons. The 2-1 fouled away. They're looking to try to pick up what could be a statement win, but still very early to start talking like that, certainly. But against a Crown Point team that in their 2 meetings last year got the better of Portage. The 2-2 from Ackerman. Nice off-speed pitch to get Cole swinging above it as it breaks inside for strike 3. That's strikeout number 8 for Ackerman. And now the batter will be Caleb Hacker. But in these 2 meetings last year, almost a year ago today, at the same venue actually, Crown Point won 4-0. And then in the next matchup, it was a 14-1 win at Portage. So for the Indians trying to make things closer against a Crown Point team that's had their number lately. And now with the count 1-0, Hacker bats against Ackerman. Fastball is inside. The count goes 2-0. Hacker, a 2 RBI single in the first inning and a walk in the third. He's reached base twice. The 2-0, called strike 1. Hacker, similar to Johnston, working as a two-way player, pitched yesterday, bats today. The 2-1 outside. And for the pitcher, the losing pitcher in Hacker, maybe that gives you a little bit of a boost, getting to know you're in the lineup again the next day and can try to get revenge after Crown Point rallied to take the lead in the 6th inning and wouldn't look back yesterday. Now the 3-1. Inside for ball 4. Hacker is aboard for the 3rd time in this game. And for Hacker, 3 plate appearances, 3 trips on base. Certainly contributing today. And now Cody Young will bat. Young had an RBI single in the 1st inning. Mentioned he was a multi-year starting quarterback for the Portage football squad and also a multi-year starter for the baseball team. The first pitch to Young, chopped away foul. Count starts 0-1. But now trading the football gear for the baseball equipment and working as the center fielder for Portage, trying to help the team out with 1 out and a runner on first base. Ackerman's 0-1. Young lifts it towards shallow right field. 2 Bulldogs charging for it, and it's out of the glove. It is out of the glove of Sheets. They will throw it on to second base for the out. Sheets and Payne were both going for that fly ball. Sheets was calling for it. Payne almost bumped into him. So as Sheets made the catch, it falls out of his glove. They throw it on a second base to get 1 out, but a bit of a wacky play there. Puts a runner on base for Portage, and that will allow Young to reach base. Hacker is out. Not exactly how Crown Point draws it up, but you do get an out, and then the throw down to first was a little bit off the bag, but Johnston's able to reel it in on the first pitch to Bogue. We've seen Bogue with a couple of really nice defensive plays at third base. At the plate, he's 0 for 2 so far, trying to change that with Young aboard. The 1-0. Outside, we go 2-0. That was just a interesting play on that last sequence where Hacker and Young were both standing at first base. So Hacker kind of just had to realize, I'll be out here. Young will stay aboard, and Young almost caught wandering. Young is now in a rundown, hustling towards second base, and he's out. So Portage runs into an out to end the inning. We will head to the bottom of the 6th inning With a 3-1 score, you're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Mortaranos Roofing is a family-owned business established in 1986, celebrating over 40 years. We have completed over 5,600 roof replacements, repairs, and chimney projects, focused in Northwest Indiana and Southwest Michigan. Mortaranos Roofing has always put family, friends, and customers first in our mission to complete roofing projects with the greatest care and consideration as if it was our own. Give them a call today for a free estimate at 219-872-8246. Mortaranos Roofing. Protect your past, present, and future roofs for you and your loved ones and your legacy.
You ready? Let's go! Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
Your future starts
here.
Last of the sixth inning, Hunter Cole still on the mound for Portage, as Connor Gaines will bat. Gaines bats for the Bulldogs. Gaines will look to try to contribute here. He reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. So Gaines bats against Cole. Cole with a long pause before delivering the first pitch. Goes to the plate. It's outside for ball one. As Hunter Cole stays on the mound. For Crown Point, you have to look at that top half of this inning in which you allowed a couple base runners, but were able to take care of business with runners on base and prevent Portage from adding to the lead, including catching a runner to end the inning. Second time they've thrown out a Portage base runner in this game. The count is 2-0 to Gaines as Cole speeds a fastball low and away. We talked about there was activity in the Portage bullpen in the last half in the fifth inning. It's quiet in the pen now, but with Cole missing on the first three pitches, potentially could get that arm heating up in the pen again. It's now a 4-pitch walk to Gaines to start the inning. And now the batter will be Andrew Long. Long had an RBI ground out in the first inning. Long bats with a runner on and nobody out, as the Bulldogs trying to battle back against Portage, trailing by 2. The first pitch is inside. The count goes 1-1, and now for Cole trying to find his command here in the sixth inning after a leadoff walk, and now there will be a conference on the mound. We'll see if this is simply just a meeting or if it's the end of the line for Cole. Shane Prance makes his way out to the mound. He does not ask for the baseball, so it looks like Cole will stay on the hill, but we'll try to cook up some outs here with the leadoff runner on and a 1-0 count to the next batter. You have to be careful here against Crown Point, even after the top hitters. As you move to the back half of the lineup, still plenty of threats. You see Long bats .390 on the year, has driven in 9 runs on 16 hits, so you have to be careful against him. Brody Langen's behind him, 14 RBIs, so this is still a part of the lineup that could make you pay. Cole will have to try to avoid any mistakes here. The count is 1-0. Everybody's back to their spots. Cole looks to the runner at first base. Now he goes to the plate. Fouled away as the runner was starting to hustle towards second. Gaines will have to go back. So trying to get Gaines on the move as he's at first. The count evens up at 1-1 after the foul ball to Long. Cole gets set and will fire the 1-1 pitch. It spins away, and then losing it is the catcher Ruiz. He was looking to throw it on to first base, but the ball just slips away No harm done there. Actually, that was called a strike. A strike. The count goes 1-2. A ball and 2 strikes to Andrew Long. And Long will try to deliver here against Cole. Cole takes a long look at the runner at first base. Now brings it to the plate. Long goes after it. Sends it foul towards the Portage bullpen and out of play. The count remains 1-2. Long represents the tying run at the plate. He's trying to reach base. The throw to first. Gaines gets back and with plenty of time. Count stays 1-2. But for the Bulldogs here, if you could contribute, maybe not both runs, but just one run to make it that much closer here in the 6th inning, that could help out, make it less steep of a hill to try to climb up in the 7th inning. Or if they could take the lead here, you won't have to worry about batting in the 7th inning. A lot of ways to approach it here. The count stays 1-2. Right-hander continues to get loose in the Portage bullpen. This one played in the air towards right field. Petrie has to charge in and gets there for the first out. Petrie had a long way to travel towards the foul line in right field, was able to angle in, made the catch. There's one out, and the batter will now be Brody Langens. Or will it be?
For the Bulldogs, number 19.
It'll be a pinch hitter. Connor Trapp bats in place of Langens. So Trapp in for Langens, who was 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Trapp bats in the bottom of the 6th inning with a runner on and one out. So maybe looking for a different matchup here, as Cole had the number of the batter, and he drops in a first pitch strike. And for Trapp, a difficult spot here. You've been able to watch Cole from the dugout, but until you're actually in the batter's box, it could maybe be harder to get a look at what he's throwing. So you just have to focus on trying to get a quality swing here against a tough right-hander. The count is even at a ball and a strike. Now the pitch from Cole. Fastball. Doesn't get the spot he wanted. Makes it a 2-1 count. Ruiz popped up as he made the catch, was looking to throw, but the runner goes right back to his station at first base. Wasn't trying to challenge the Portage catcher. So the count now 2-1. The 2-1 pitch from Cole is low. We'll go 3-1 now. So 3-1, Cole in danger of walking the pinch hitter. Logan Johnston, the batter on deck. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Trapp elevates it foul, and it slices out of play. So the count now full at 3-2. And we get a new baseball for the umpire. But with another foul ball like that, the pitch count of Cole continues to climb and higher, and makes it that much more likely he will maybe make an early exit from this game. 3-2. Sent towards shortstop. Braden gets to second for one. That will be the only play they make. They throw to first, but Trapp reached safely. It was a close play at second as Gaines made it maybe a little more difficult. The fielder's choice puts Trapp on base.
The first baseman, 22, Logan Johnston.
And now the batter will be Logan Johnston. And there will be a pinch runner at first for Trapp. That will be Brody Langens. So Langens will run at first. He's at first. Johnston will bat. Johnston bats with 2 outs and 1 runner on. He singled in his last meeting with Cole. Doesn't go for the first. Well, the first pitch was thrown over to first base, so on the first delivery from Cole, now he brings it to the plate. Johnston gets it off the end of the bat, but it carries away towards the Portage dugout. So he starts the count with a strike, 0-1. Johnston 1 for 2 on the game so far. Now the 0-1 from Cole, running towards second is Langens. This one curling towards right field, towards the corner, and it lands foul. A long strike from Johnston off the end of the bat. That could have been trouble for Portage if it landed fair in that corner, but it lands in foul territory to make it an 0-2 count. So Johnston will try to swing at anything close here with 2 strikes in the count and 2 outs in the inning, with Crown Point trailing by 2 runs. The kick and the pitch from Cole, a check swing and fouled away by Johnston. He goes about halfway through there. It goes off the bat and ricochets towards the fence. So a check swing, but a foul ball. The count is 0-2. Cole looks to the dugout for the sign. Now looks at the runner at first. 0-2. Through the middle of the infield towards Braden at short. He throws to first base. Hacker digs it up for out number 3. A base runner is left stranded for the Bulldogs. We are through 6. It's Portage 3, Crown Point 1. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
On-Site Generator Solutions is a locally owned and operated power partner for Northwest Indiana homes. With over 14 years of experience, they handle tasks such as generators, residential electric, plumbing, automotive care, and more. You can find them on Facebook. Give them a call at 219-516-6800 or search them up on the web at onsitegeneratorsolutions.com. On-Site Generator Solutions. Power you can count on, every time, everywhere.
Pitching for the Bulldogs, number 18, Nomiko.
We have a new pitcher in the game, so that means it's time to introduce the Enigenberg Exteriors Home Improvement Hurler, presented by Enigenberg Exteriors. It'll be Nomikos Zeronius, the right-hander. Get you his pitching numbers as we've seen him at the plate. Zeronius, as soon as I can turn the page here on my stats that are printed up. I got a lot of papers on the desk, but anyway, Zeronius is 1-1 on the year, 3.82 ERA. He has thrown. He has worked on the mound in several appearances, but that 3.87 ERA for Zeronius, as he has 3 walks, 5 strikeouts to match his offensive metrics. So Zeronius will try to deliver 3 quick outs and get the Crown Point bats back up, as they will need some zeros here to try to crank up a 2-run comeback in the 6th inning, or for Portage, they could try to add to the league. But that's your Enigenberg Exteriors Home Improvement Hurler, your all-in-one roofing specialist. Visit ebergexteriors.com for a quote. So Zeronius into pitch. That ends the day for Ackerman. I'll tally up his stat line as we work here.
Indians, the third baseman, number 5, Ryan Bogue.
6 innings pitched for Ackerman, 2 hits. He allowed 3 runs. As batting now is Ryan Bogue. Bogue elevates the first pitch. Right side of the diamond, playable towards the right field fence, and colliding with the fence is Payne. Did he hang on? He did! Payne makes the catch, colliding with the fence for a tremendous effort on that play to earn the out. And is he all right, as he took a long run into that fence in right field. So they will check up on Payne and right, but what a play that was, going into the corner and colliding with the wall. There's not padding on that fence. It's a fence at the bullpen, so that's a lot of impact for Carson Payne. So he was going full speed at that for that fly ball. But was able to hang on and make the catch, one of the best catches we've seen today. But we'll finish up the stat line on Ackerman as Payne will stay in for Ackerman. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 3 runs, 5 walks, and 8 strikeouts. His day reaches an end, and Nomikos Zeronius will try to keep things moving, get the Crown Point offense back up. And for Portage, facing a new reliever, you're trying to make it a difficult appearance for him and try to make things more out of reach for Crown Point as trailing by 2 runs. If you could make it 3 or more, that could make it that much larger of a hill to try to climb up. Fouling away the first pitch is Tyler Porowski. He's 0 for 2 on the outing. It'll be Payne, Zeronius, and Sheets due up for Crown Point in the bottom of the 7th when we get there. But first, the top half as it's elevated towards right field by Porowski. Payne will have a much easier trip to that fly ball for out number 2. And talk about the cruel nature of baseball sometimes. After you run full speed at the fence to make that catch on the first out for Carson Payne, probably got the wind knocked out of him, dealing with some discomfort. The next batter flies one right towards you in right field. So no room to hide in this game as Payne called into action right again, but handles it for the second out. And now a first pitch strike to Hunter Petrie. Seems to be that's how it goes sometimes. You could go an entire game in right field, get nothing hit to you, but for Payne, he gets back-to-back in difficult fashion. Zeronius speeds in a fastball for strike 2. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. Now Petrie will try to get defensive. Zeronius, a long set, and time is called. The count's still 0-2. There are 2 outs in an inning, nobody on. And for Portage, what could be their last at-bats. Now the 0-2 from Zeronius. The windup and the pitch. Off the end of the bat, Petrie floats it towards right field. Payne going towards the fence again and braces for impact, makes the catch for out number 3. So 3 fly balls to right field, 3 catches made by Carson Payne to end the inning. We will head to the last of the 7th inning with Portage leading 3-1. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
I was born, raised, started the family, and worked my nearly 30-year career in law enforcement, both as a local police officer and as an ATF agent, all here in Lake County. I promise to lead differently, restore the public's trust in the Sheriff's Department, and to build a world-class police organization that is focused on serving you. In this election, Lake County residents have a different choice, a better way. I'm Jason Gore, and I approve this message.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
Down, sit, put.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
Hunter Cole stays on the mound for Portage with 3 outs to get. Can he knock those batters out, or can Crown Point rally, generate a comeback, trailing 3-1 in the last half inning? It'll be Payne, Zeronius, and Sheets to bat for the Bulldogs. Cole will try to retire them in quiet fashion. And for Carson Payne, talk about having no room to hide in baseball. He had 3 plays to make in right field. Now he has to pick up the bat and swing the first play in right field when he ran into the fence, hung on after colliding with the fence, and now he has to bat, takes a first pitch strike from Cole. For Cole, He's really battled here in this game, has been able to weather the storm. A few hits against, a few errors. The command has been there, only one walk, and this one's cued towards center field. Payne is aboard with a leadoff single. So a good swing from Payne, was able to get it to the end of the bat and just jab it towards center. There's no chance that Portage could make a defensive play there. Now that helps out Nomikos Zeronius as he will bat with a runner on and nobody out. With the top of the order on deck, we saw Zeronius step in relief in the top half of this inning. Offensively, he's 0 for 2 today, trying to break through. The first pitch from Cole, grounded towards short. Braden gets it. The throw to second for one, but they will only get one out on the play. Payne is retired on the fielder's choice. Zeronius is aboard. So we've seen that a couple times. Portage unable to retire to turn 2. And now Nathan Sheets bats with one out and a runner at first base. So Zeronius is on. Sheets will bat. Sheets singled and advanced on an error. In his last plate appearance, he's scored the lone run of the game for the Bulldogs. The first pitch from Cole. Outside, we start the count 1-0. And for Zeronius, that's big. You're able to reach base, avoid the double play, keep your team in the game. Now Sheets bats with one out and a runner on instead of 2 outs, and the base is empty. He works the count to 2-0. And for Sheets, you don't want to help Cole out here. He's near the end of his outing. He's thrown a lot of pitches. Don't go chasing anything. Force him to have to dig deep here. 2-0, though. Cole is able to bring a good fastball to the plate, and Sheets couldn't catch up to it. The count is 2-1. Cole has really been battling here. Can he deliver 2 more outs? 2-1. Off the end of the bat, foul to the backstop. Now the count is even at 2-2. That right-hander warming up is Robert Vega in the Portage bullpen. We saw him the last couple innings. Could be ready at a moment's notice here with the count 2-2 to Sheets. Here's the pitch. Sheets swings over the off-speed pitch for strike 3. Now there are 2 outs. Crown Point down to their last hope. It's Caden Matusak.
Number 7, Caden Matusak.
5th strikeout of the game for Cole, and that was a good one. That off-speed breaking ball had the batter Sheets swinging ahead of it for strike 3. Now Matusak will look to try to break through. Takes a first pitch ball from Cole. Matusak has reached base twice, a single and an error. He flew out to center in his last at-bat. The count 1-0. Cole fires a fastball out of the stretch, but it's high and tight. We go 2-0. Can Cole cook up one more out? Or can the Bulldogs rally? 2-0. We go 3-0. Good eye for Matusak, and with Dunlap waiting on deck, if Matusak could reach, he would be the tying run. It doesn't get easier for Cole here. If you can't get Matusak, there's a big threat up next. The fastball is low for ball 4. It's a 2-out walk for Matusak, so the Bulldogs aren't done yet. Sean Dunlap bats with 2 on and 2 away. Dunlap could be the hero today. He's been held 0 for 3 so far, but none of that matters if he's able to find a way to bring a big swing. Shane Prance will step out to the mound to talk to Hunter Cole. Is this the end of the outing for Cole, or will they allow him to face Dunlap? So Cole, it looks like he is continuing to talk with Prance. He's going to stay in this game. Can he get Dunlap for a 4th time? That's interesting of note, too. The 4th time facing the top of the order for Cole. Does he have one more out in him? Facing Dunlap, one of the top players in the state. He's got him 3 times. I don't know if there are many times where he's been held 0 for 4, but Cole could be the pitcher to do it, as he's been outstanding throughout this game, but still needs to find a way to get one more out. Zeronius is the runner at second. He reached on a fielder's choice. Matusak is the runner at first. He walked, and a 4-pitch walk at that. Cole gets ready. First pitch to Dunlap. Dunlap grounds it to short base. Braden loses it, recovers, the throw to first, not in time! Safe is the call at first base. Braden can't believe it. The Bulldogs have loaded the bases with 2 outs. Dunlap is aboard on a tough play that kind of ate up Braden. He tried to recover, threw down to first, and now there's another pinch hitter. Tyler Sheets is in for the Bulldogs. Tyler Sheets will bat in place of Gaines in the last of the 7th inning with the bases loaded. The first pitch, called strike 1 to Sheets. Bottom 7 here, 2 outs, bases loaded. These are the spots baseball players dream of, being up to the plate. Can Sheets do it here for the Bulldogs, or can Cole deliver one more out? 0-1, the pitch. Strike 2. Nice breaking ball from Cole. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. So now Crown Point down to their last strikeout with Sheets up to bat. There's a teammate at every base. 0-2. Chop towards shortstop. Braden charges for it. He loses it. 1 run will score. They go to third. And he's out. That'll do it. Portage able to hang on. Defeats the Bulldogs 3-2 on a play made at third base to end the game. With the tying run at third, they retire him to pick up a huge Duneland Conference win. What a finish in a great game between 2 local rivals. It's Portage defeating Crown Point by 1 run. What a wild 7th inning. We will try to settle things down, break it down. Hunter Cole goes the distance to get the win for Portage, who improves to 12-4 on the year and hands Crown Point their 2nd loss. What a way to finish the game. We'll step aside, take a quick break, come back with the final thoughts and the post-game hardware. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Meet Scott Miller, a lifelong Northwest Indiana resident. Scott has spent his career serving his community as a teacher, school leader, and superintendent of Hammond schools. Today, he serves as Chief of Staff for the City of Hammond, helping lead operations and guide decisions that impact local families every day. Known for tackling tough challenges and making responsible, honest decisions, Scott is ready to bring steady leadership to the Lake County Council. Scott Miller, responsible, experienced, ready.
Located in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, the newly renovated Hampton Inn is within walking distance to over 30 restaurants and attractions, including Lucas Oilfield and Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a fitness center. Why wait? Make your reservations today. Call 317-261-1200 or make them on the web at hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
We're back at Crown Point High School. We're wrapping up what was a thrilling 3-2 win for Portage in a well-played game between 2 Duneland Athletic Conference rivals. It was Portage getting the win 3-2 with about as dramatic as a finish as you could have asked for. The bases loaded to end the game, and Portage able to bounce back after they maybe misplayed the play at the plate, allowing 1 run to score, but then catching a runner, making a wide turn at third base to tag him out. A heads-up play between shortstop, catcher, and third base. It was Ruiz, the freshman catcher, making that quick throw down the third base line to retire Matusak. But with all that out of the way, let's get on to some post-game awards and get everybody out of here. It's time to name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowell Companies, proud to recognize the superheroes on the diamond. I'm going to go with Hunter Cole for that. I still tallying up his stat line, but he went 7 innings with only a few hits scattered throughout. I don't have that number in front of me. With 2 runs, 1 earned. He walked, if my numbers are correct, just 2 batters. And I will do some quick counting on air. But he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts in the game, too. Cole with another gritty performance on the hill to get the win over a tough Crown Point lineup. Nicely done by the senior right-hander. And now it's time to name the blue-collar player of the game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. The blue-collar player of the game tonight was the other pitcher. This was a pitcher's duel tonight. It was Riley Ackerman going 6 innings for Crown Point with 2 hits against, 3 runs, 5 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Ackerman was just as solid for Crown Point, taking the loss in this one to Cole, who took the win. But both starting pitchers were outstanding tonight in a game that barely took 2 hours, just under 2 hours by my count, actually an hour 58. So a well-pitched game between Ackerman and Cole. And now it's time to name the proud-to-be Union play of the game presented by Ironworkers Local 395. To find out how you can become a Union Ironworker, visit ironworkers395.com. Tonight's Ironworkers 395 play of the game was, let's just go with that final out. The play on that, let's be honest, too, was a play where Crown Point scored a run and maybe a bit of a misplay to not get the out at the plate, but Braden, Ruiz, and Bogue stick with it to get that out at third base, catching the runner in a bit of a wandering spot as he was away from third, tried to get back. That was Matusak at third base, trying to slide in safely, and he just couldn't get back in time. Ruiz threw a dart down to third to Bogue, who was able to apply the tag, get him out to end the game in dramatic fashion. The tying run would have been tying run at third base. Couldn't quite get back there in time. That ended the game. That was tonight's Ironworkers 395 play of the game, presented by Ironworkers Local 395. Union strong. Now to thank everyone involved with tonight's broadcast, to our management team at Region Sports, led by executive producer Chris Ramirez, Rich Castillo, Zach Miller, and Mike DeWan. To our producer, Zach Sinelli, doing a great job leading us through this game. To Thomas Marsh, capturing all the action on camera. There was certainly a lot of highlights for him to get to, and he did a great job of following all of that. To the coaches, Shane Prance of Portage and Steve Strayer from Crown Point, Brett St. Germain, the athletic director from Portage, and Bill Girola, Crown Point's AD. And to the viewers across all of our platforms, however you may have found this broadcast, at regionsports.com, YouTube/Region Sports, Facebook/Region Sports Nation, and the IHSAA Champions Network. This is Leo Staudaher thanking you for watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Tonight's broadcast is made possible by Strack & Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Crowell Insurance Company, the insurance superheroes. Ironworkers Local 395, proud to be Union. Four Seasons Mechanical, quality and comfort is our guarantee. Boilermakers Local 374, earn while you learn. Pulse Technology, leading the way in technological innovation for over 70 years. Visit Michigan City LaPorte, closer than you think, better than you imagine. IBEW Local 697, proud to support high school sports. Bricklayers Local 4, the best hands in the business. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. Mark Macknick, Chicagoland Tax Professionals. Blythe's Team Sports, where the athletes